5 areas that abundance or lack will always manifest. Finances. If you don't got a dime to rob on another, then you have a poverty issue. But you can have a lack of money, but that doesn't mean you have a poverty mindset. You may just be temporarily unable to meet the financial obligations. And if you have an abundance mindset, even if you lose it all, it will come back real quick. But if you have a poverty mindset, even what you have will be gone in a hurry, right? Because you always have to go back to your default. Whatever you have believed is your default, if you believe poverty is your default, you always go back to that. No matter whether someone drops $1 million on your lap right now. If I come back in a week, a month, a year, several years from now, you'll be dead broke. So you best begin to understand how to keep an abundant mindset as the default of your life. 5 areas: finances, relationships. That's so important, because if you come into a relationship with a poverty mindset, that relationship is doomed to fail. It's DOA, dead on arrival. And it's just going to take time, just like with the money thing, a week, a month, a year, a couple of years, it's gone. Your spirituality. Everybody has a form of spirituality, even those who claim to be atheists. There's something in us that's created to be spiritual in a certain way. And I'm not here to tell you should be Christian or any other religion, or just not even any religion at all. Whatever your spirituality is, whatever your belief, because spirituality really is where you go to find peace, where you go to find calmness, where you go to recollect yourself, where you go to build faith that will help you face tomorrow and face the next issue or the next problem. That's your spiritual. For some people that's God, for some people that's yoga, for some people that's whatever it is. But I'll tell you what, I was a pastor for many years, and I will be the first one to confess that I preached a lot of things that I didn't believe in. I preached a lot of things that I couldn't manifest. I used to tell people how God would bless them, but I knew I just didn't have it in me. So if you're telling people things that you don't think you are able to receive, how is that going to work in their life? A lot of our prayers are poverty-minded prayers. Because if you're still praying that God can unclench his arm so he can bless you, that's poverty mindset. Abundance mindset says he's already blessed you. You already have it all. Just like that seed dropped in the middle of fertile ground. You are dropped in the middle of wherever you live. And you are a seed. The seed of abundance is in your mind. And if you just take time to just go through all the faculties of that beautiful mind you have, you will find your abundance. And you begin to change not only your life, but all those people around you. Stop yelling at God to bless you. Stop crying and praying and fasting days on end, hoping that some blessing somehow will miraculously fall on you. You've already been blessed. All you got to do is find out how and then begin to work it out. The fourth area is our emotions. Oh, is this a big one? Do you know there are people you cannot tell any truth because they would just explode. They cannot handle it because they're so poor in their emotional life. If anytime I talk to you and tell you some truth that can help you, be it painful or not, that you got to get up tomorrow and go find a therapist because you can't handle what I told you, that's not trauma. That's a lack of growth in your emotional, your EQ, your emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence. So build that. Become strong in your emotional life. Understand, have emotional, there's IQ, intelligence quotient, and then there's EQ, emotional intelligence. A lot of people have a lot of good IQ, but they might not be good in their emotional intelligence. They can't pick up the social cue. They can't. Have you ever been with someone and they keep talking, and you're not listening? You tuned out, but they still talking? Or maybe you've been in a meeting and this person was just like a speaker, keynote speaker, and they just keep talking, and they're not connecting with anybody. If you're speaking and people aren't listening, shut up. Reconnect, re-engage, regroup, do something different. Bring in the people. You're not here just to inform, you're here to engage. Emotional poverty is ruining relationships. It's ruining people. The fifth and most equally as important is knowledge. And this kind of is the hallmark. It's the umpire. It's the umbrella of it all. Because if you don't have knowledge, you will not have abundance. Because you can't tap into it. So by all you're getting, get knowledge, get understanding, read books, get into a deeper knowledge of who you are, of how you function, of how everything functions. You don't have to know how everything functions, but you have to know how the things that are important in your life function. There are people who are trying to get rich and they don't even know the laws of money. They don't know how money works. They don't know how money functions. They don't know what areas you have to be careful with. Learn those things. Knowledge is so powerful.